to another episode of Going All In, Get the Edge You Need to Succeed. I'm Dr. Erin McKinley, and this episode is the second in a series of my sit-downs with some May 2021 graduates from the senior class of LSU Dietetics, my program that I direct. And this episode is a little bit different. It's with my student, Madelyn, who had a very non-traditional track to getting to her internship placement. And here we go with Madelyn's story. All right, Madelyn, welcome to the podcast. To get us started, give us a little bit of an introduction to you, where you're from, a little bit of your why as far as dietetics as a future career, and where are you headed after graduation?
Yeah, so I started it actually at LSU in pre-PT. So changing to nutrition for me was kind of like a last minute decision, but I found more interest in that than competing for physical therapy programs. Nutrition was life, soul, just as far as like my whole family goes. It's always been the most important, like table conversation, like in all of your family events are planning around nutrition and like the food and the events that you have and that time. Let's see. So it took me 5 years to get my undergraduate at LSU, and I'm now going to go to Auburn and I'm enrolled, I guess, in their master's program in human nutrition for the fall of 2021. Yeah. So, and I'm graduating cohort class of 2023, which is exciting.
Yay. All right.
Yes.
So I think like a year ago, you had come to my office and we sat down and had a chat because you thought you had it all figured out as far as going to grad school, maybe taking some time off, not doing the internship right away. And I didn't hear from you after that. So I assumed that's what was going on. So tell me what was going on with your thought process between last spring and then right before you contacted me in April.
Sure.
This year.
Yeah. So going through undergraduate, I had always planned on going to get my master's right after. I just knew that was going to be the easiest way to go about it, because if I pushed it down the road, I had the feeling that I was never going to get it in. And then now with the new Ascend accreditation requiring by 2023, we all have our master's, I was like, well, no better time than the present. So I was working for the LSU University Recreation, and I had anticipated on doing the graduate assistant program with other SEC colleges, where you have a fully funded master's program, and I was going to just work in aquatics and make a little bit of money on the side, teaching, instructing classes. And then the more and more my family was looking in the southeastern area, well, I guess COVID really comes into play with all of this as well, because everybody's life was affected by COVID. But so my plans of going to get a GA assistantship kind of fell through when I noticed that there weren't any in like southeast, I guess within driving distance of family. Is that really what I was looking for in the New Orleans greater area and the like southern Gulf Coast. So as soon as those positions kind of closed, I was thinking to just take some time off, work a little bit, maybe go sit for the
DTR.
DTR, yeah, that's it. So I was thinking about sitting for the DTR, working then, and then just kind of figuring it out what I wanted to do. I'm still not quite sold on which program I want to do in nutrition yet, but I've learned what I don't like to do, so we're getting a little bit closer, I would hope. And then let's see. So had all of these plans to take some time off, and then COVID hit, which really threw a kink in everything. My family decided to move from Virginia to southern Alabama. And in that move, it was literally during the time that DICUS was going on and the whole graduate school applications with GRE. And I just kind of checked out, honestly. I didn't want to take the GRE. I didn't have time. I was working full-time or part-time, and just kind of left it all up into the hands of God. And it sure did pay off, because when match day came around, everybody was texting me, and Dr. McKinley was so involved with everyone getting a program as well. And I had actually had Auburn on my graduate assistantship, like radar, I guess you could say. And like that was in the fall before COVID. And after COVID and before matching, when I saw that Auburn came in through my inbox, I was like, oh yeah, let's definitely apply. I was super, super excited. And then it was like a 24-hour turnaround. Like I sent an email that Tuesday night or Wednesday night, and then by Thursday morning we had an interview, and by Thursday evening I was accepted to the program. So it was only on God's timing, because I really could not have ever planned it better. And I mean, I never thought that I was even going to get accepted into Auburn, which is an amazing feat itself.
So
Yes.
Did you tell your parents before you emailed me that you were thinking about going after like an open position during second round?
Yes. So as soon as everybody was matching, I was not disappointed, because I had made the conscious decision, like, this is not where I need to be right now. I don't have time. I was kind of just getting newly acclimated to the Alabama area. And I mean, my parents were totally involved in the entire process, and they were super, super excited that I had decided to go with Auburn over University of Alabama, which is another story, I guess you could say, in itself, because I initially had plans to go to Alabama and then do a totally distance DI, but then Auburn came along and just blew it out the ballpark. So yeah, everybody has been super involved in my application process, and especially my current job too. They've been all super supportive. So.
All right. So for those watching at home, just to look like a quick recap. So Madelyn never applied during first round.
No.
Nothing in her dicus. Nothing. No references. No personal. Well, a personal statement from the class that you took with me, but that was like a year prior. You know? So I want to say you told me that after you spoke to the director of Auburn, then you started to put your dicus stuff together, because you had to have it officially together. So from start to finish, how long did it take you to get everything in there?
Ooh, that was a very intense couple hours, really, because I was thinking to myself the entire time. So I emailed and interviewed with Dr. Burnett. So I emailed Dr. Burnett that Wednesday, and then by Thursday morning, dicus had opened back at 11 for the second round match. And we had an interview at 9 a.m. So within 8 hours of that day, juggling in between online school, I was trying to get my application in, my GPA together, letters of reference, and finalize a personal statement. That was luckily done from the professionalism course, which I wound up using that, which was great. And then it took me about, I would like to say, 6 or 5 hours to just sit down and grind through the whole thing, because you have to input all of your GPA, all of the numbers, all the letters. It was more intense than I had first and planned on.
So what would be your honest opinion, even though you didn't spend that much time in dicus? Do you have any real honest opinion about it, or any tips that you would give folks that are about to go into the dicus, which is going to change a little bit in about a year? It's going to update. But for those that might be watching, that might be doing fall match this year, were you in there long enough to really come up with if I did this again, I would do it this way?
Yes and no. Honestly, Dr. Burnett and I were just so in cahoots about getting an application submitted in some form or fashion. She was even willing to go, we were willing to just do the printable form for dicus application and then just email it to her. So I really didn't spend that much time in dicus, because all she needed was my GPA verification statement and a transcript, really. So dicus itself is a very confusing system, in my opinion. And I remember emailing you, how do I get this certain step along the way? So it was a learning curve in itself, but the best way to really get acclimated to the system is just to work with it. So that's my word of advice with dicus. Yeah, it was weird. I really could have cut out the whole system and be just fine. But I can imagine if you're applying to 3 and 4 programs that you need to go through that application system, which makes sense. But
it is different with second round. So we might have some folks watching that are like, wait, why are we even doing dicus if she didn't have to fill out the whole thing? Yes. I like to say that second round is like open season, And we just do what we need to do to get students into programs, and directors will accept alternative forms of applications, kind of the bare minimum that they need to satisfy their graduate school or to satisfy their registrar's office or whatever it is. So the rules are a little bit out the window when it comes to second round, which I think a lot of students are surprised by that, to where it's like, oh, wait, I just email people and just ask them if they have spots open. It's like, yes, it's like the fact that you actually had a conversation with Dr. Burnett, and in that conversation, the decision was made. That's very common in second round. I've had many instances where directors have spoken to students and then called me and said, is this a good choice that I just made? And of course, I'm going to say yes, because you're my students. And any director in my position would be rooting for their students. So for those that are watching this episode that are like, what is happening? Why do I have to do DICAS? It's part of the process in first round, but then in second round, it is it's really up to the preference of the director and what they want to do to make sure that they fill their internship class. So thinking about your time here in a dietetics program, even though your application process was a little bit different, do you feel like you did anything while you were here with us at LSU that really separated you from other potential applicants that Dr. Burnett might have been looking at?
Yeah. I think that the biggest part for like being an LSU applicant is the level of professionalism that is instilled within you from day one. And that is what I found across the board in all of the jobs that I've carried. And I've carried quite a few, and some longer than others. But in my current job, it's very, very distinct as to who has received professional development and who did not. And it's just the simple things of writing an email professionally, including an email signature, timing of follow-ups, and like even just text lingo too, because I had to text Dr. Burnett about, hey, can you open the Auburn portal for me really, really quick? I'll press submit and you can close it again. And you know, you can't just be super blunt about things. You have to say it very politely and poetically, I guess you could say. And that's where LSU really rounds you out as an individual, in my opinion. So, and ironically enough, I took an English literature as my last semester class, one of my last semesters. And I've enjoyed that one the most. It was the most fun, just because it forces you to think, and being an LSU graduate, you are a unique part of society who has accomplished an undergraduate degree, and you have made it through the thick and thin of education. So that's how I feel about it.
So how did you feel about the dietetics program? Because we have a program that's pretty similar to a lot of the other programs in the U.S. What are some of your honest opinions about all of the classes that you had to take?
Mm-hmm. Honest opinion, it was good. It was really good. Regarding the sciences were really, really strong, especially regarding like all of the dietetic sciences. So biochemistry, organic, those are the hardest. Those will get you through it. And they force you to think too a little bit more than just rote memorization, in my opinion. And then in regards to the nutrition courses themselves, the staff is great. All of the education teachers, like the educational teachers. So like Dr. McKinley, Miss Motley, Miss Miliotto is great. And everybody has, and Miss Dore too, because everybody has really, really good experience in the field, that they are able to tailor your education to what you will experience in person. And that is invaluable, because you have like a preconceived notion of how to do something already. And then you can go out and you really have the skill set to do it. And you're not just learning trial by fire. And that's going to put you apart from any applicant from any other program, in any undergraduate program. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything that you wish that you had done differently while you were an undergrad here that maybe would have changed your path or set you up to be a stronger intern? Is there anything you kind of wish, you're like, dang, I wish I could go back and redo that?
Yeah. I would go back. I was so close. So final grades got posted yesterday, and I was, I think, 0.04 away from graduating with honors. And I'm like, man, if I would have just paid a little bit more attention in those freshman level classes, like the easy ones, I'm talking like Psych 2000 and English literature, or not English literature, English 2000, your super basic ones, and math, and that would really put you just above the top to be a really outstanding candidate as well. I mean, GPA wise. So that's my word of advice. If I could go back, I'm like, man, if I would have just taken 2 other classes twice over, I would have been all right. But so that's my other word of advice is just pay attention, do the work, and stay up late. Just drink another cup of coffee. You got it. Yeah.
Do you have any Do you have any other personal kind of best tips or tricks for future dietetic students in any program, just in general?
Sure. Definitely keep your notes. Yes, that is huge. Sure, it might be your last final before Christmas, but do not throw them away. Whatever you do. I have gone back, especially in medical nutrition therapy, and referenced Miss Miliotto's notes over and over again. I've referenced even just regular 1014 over and over again, all of your conversion notes, and math as well. So, and metabolism as well. That is super big. I'm actually going back and rereading a couple of the vitamins now. So before I jump full force into it with a master's in August.
All right. So you know that there's always rumors going around about dietetics as a profession, getting into an internship, surviving a DPD program. Are there any rumors that you can confirm are true, or are there any rumors that are completely false and you just want to clear that up for folks?
Do you have a certain rumor in mind, or?
There's one that it's just impossible to get matched. It's impossible. It's impossible to do well.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely wrong. You can definitely do well because you have to apply yourself. It's not just it's not a walk in the park. You got to work on it, especially if you want to excel, and people will notice that about you. And you can absolutely get matched pretty much anywhere. I would like to say. Before I interviewed with Auburn, I had a couple of other interviews with some distance programs, and they were vying for candidates just to fill a spot. And I hate to say it, but money talks, and they really want you in that spot because you're going to pay it if you like it or not. And it costs them money to put the program on, and they're kind of counting on somebody to fill that seat. So at the end of the day, it might not be your favorite program, but it's absolutely possible to get matched.
You bring up a good point, because a lot of students that don't match in first round, some maybe in years, not in the last couple of years in this program, but in years past, I've seen where students just want to give up after that. Like they're just kind of convinced that the programs that they had on their list are the programs for them. And I try to show them that the programs that are available are probably the ones that they would be more suited for. And do you feel like this was like meant to be? Like you can't see it happening any other way?
Yes, it was definitely meant to be, in my opinion. I was always like, I had kind of put Auburn on a pedestal, like, wow, this is such a prestigious, awesome university. And I really had doubted myself. And that's, I guess, another word of advice, like, do not doubt yourself. And that I had to figure that out the hard way. Biochemistry is a very hard class, but don't doubt yourself in the fact that you can do it. And that was the tipping point for me. Once you kind of got past the block of believing in yourself, then you knock down tons and tons of doors to just keep on succeeding. So, and now I'm like, wow, I'm in the program, and I never would have imagined it any other way. So
come fall, are you going to be moving to Auburn, or are you going to be doing their distance track?
And I'm actually going to be staying at home. So this is a part of the God story too. And I like to call it a little glory story, because we just moved to Alabama in January. And the first 2 semesters with Auburn in the fall are going to be online. So I'm able to do the distance option with just focusing on the masters for the fall and the spring, and establish Alabama residency, pay the distance in-state tuition. And then when I go to move to Auburn in the summer of 22, I will be an actual resident of the state of Alabama. And maintain that in-state residency, because if not, I'd be paying 2 and 3 times the tuition rate. So that is pure God intervention there, because I could not have planned that ever in my own wildest dreams. And it's never posted on a website either. Like, I would like that for that to say, go down, because if you just have a question, just politely email somebody.
That's good advice for all applicants.
Yes.
I don't think I have any more questions, because your story is just so different, and I'm so excited because a lot of times when students don't apply during first round, I give them their space. I don't want to push the issue if there's something personal or familial going on. There could be a very serious reason why they're not applying. So I try to be sensitive to that. So that's why I wasn't bugging you and emailing you like, hey, why aren't you applying? Da, 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 da. So I was really excited when you did email me. There was that moment of, oh, we got to get this done, because I knew that you would be able to find a home because you're such a strong student. And then like, why didn't you say anything earlier? Like, it's sort of like, we know. I literally didn't know. I literally, until the week of, I was like, oh my gosh, no way this is actually happening. Like, if you would have asked me 72 hours prior to match day, I would have been like, nope, I'm working full time for a furniture store. Like, totally unrelated to nutrition. But yeah, it's all a glory story in itself. Well, that's so awesome. Do you have any other advice, anything that you want to say to folks that might be watching who just kind of want some reassurance that everything's going to work out? Yeah. I think I've really covered all of it, but the biggest stepping stone is to believe in yourself. Don't doubt your own strength. You're stronger than you think you are. You just have to do it. And that's, if that's proving yourself in an all-nighter or proving yourself on an A on an exam. And sometimes it just takes the extra minute, an extra mile to meet with a teacher, an extra email, and even just begging for mercy or bonus points. I mean, go for it. The worst they can do is tell you no. So that's my biggest word of advice. Believe in yourself. You got it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Madelyn, for hanging out with me for a little bit to talk about your journey. And for those that are curious to see what Auburn's program is all about, they've been on the podcast, episode 22. Check out Dr. Burnett. She is a hoot and a half, and I love her to death. And I'm so happy that one of our LSU students will be joining them this year. But thank you, Madelyn. Good luck to everything in the future. Yes. And maybe I'll see you